My beloved child, don't skip, because what I'm about to reveal is the night that shattered an entire city's peace. A single radio alert hit the police network, and within seconds officers realized something was terribly wrong. 3 crimes, in 3 different locations, all happening at the exact same second. No warning. No pattern. No explanation. The city lights were glowing, but something darker was moving beneath them, something that even experienced officers weren't prepared to face. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. The first incident struck the jewelry district, a place known for calm evenings and familiar faces. But that night, nothing felt normal. When officers reached the scene, they saw the security guard standing frozen, pointing toward the empty hallway. He whispered, "They were here, and then gone, like shadows that knew every inch of this building." No broken locks, no smashed doors, no alarms, yet the most secure vault had been touched. Even more shocking, the entire CCTV system was wiped clean as if someone erased time itself. Don't skip, the mystery only gets deeper. The second crime report hit before officers could even breathe. An armored cash van, one of the most protected vehicles in the city, vanished in plain sight. Witnesses saw the driver slow down, nod at someone outside, and then steer the van into a narrow service alley with no CCTV coverage whatsoever. People say the driver's eyes looked empty, like someone else was controlling his mind. The police wondered whether this was a heist or something psychological, something that could manipulate a person without leaving a trace. Stay till the end, this is just the beginning. Inside a police station itself, the third crime unfolded, shockingly quiet, unnervingly precise. An evidence room holding files from an unsolved case was breached without a single alarm ringing. Officers replayed the camera footage again and again, and for just 0. For seconds, a silhouette appeared, tall, blurry, impossible to identify. As if someone walked through the station's heart and dissolved into the air. But what truly shook them was what they found on the floor beneath the open drawer, a single card with a handwritten line, "This city is a chessboard, and tonight, we made our first move." Don't skip, the players behind this message are far more dangerous than anyone imagined. My beloved child, stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. These synchronized crimes weren't accidents, they were a demonstration. A warning. A message challenging the entire law enforcement system. Who were these people? How did they strike multiple places at once? Why did they leave a note inside a police station? The truth is darker than what the city has ever faced. If you want part 2, just tell me, because the next move they make will flip this entire story upside down. My beloved child, before we continue, don't skip, because what comes now will twist everything you thought you understood. After those 3 synchronized crimes, the city's command center went into full emergency mode. Officers were calling, shouting, cross-checking footage, but nothing matched. Nothing aligned. It felt like the criminals were always one step ahead, like they were watching every police movement in real time. And then, just as panic was rising, an encrypted message appeared on the central screen, something no outsider should ever be able to access. It read, "Your confusion is the first stage. Your silence will be the second. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip, because what happened next shook every officer in that room. A location pinged itself automatically on the city map, an abandoned textile mill on the outskirts. No unit had selected it. No call had come from there. Yet the system highlighted it with a flashing red circle, as if the criminals wanted the police to come. This was unusual, dangerous, and felt like a trap, but the city had no choice. A tactical team was dispatched immediately. When they reached the mill, they expected noise, movement, resistance, but found silence so deep that even breathing felt loud. Dust on the floor, untouched. Doors, unlocked. Yet something in the air felt wrong, like the walls themselves were listening. Stay till the end, because inside that mill, the officers found something they never expected, a full layout of the city printed on massive sheets, pinned across the walls. Every police station, every patrol route, every blind spot in traffic cameras, marked with eerie accuracy. At the center of the room, a single chair faced a recording monitor. The moment officers stepped inside, the screen flickered on by itself. A masked figure appeared, not speaking, not threatening, just slowly placing a finger on their lips, signaling silence, as if warning the police to stop searching. Then the screen went black. One of the officers whispered, "They knew we were coming. They wanted us to see this. My beloved child, don't skip, because the most shocking discovery was still waiting." Behind that central monitor, a hidden compartment slid open, revealing a small device with a countdown timer, set for 18 minutes. Not a bomb, something else. The device emitted a soft pulse, and suddenly all police radios across the city malfunctioned at once. Communication broke. Patrol cars froze. Surveillance went offline. The criminals didn't steal anything this time, no valuables, no files. They stole control, proving they could shut down the entire police network whenever they wanted. Fear spread quietly. Officers realized this wasn't just crime, this was orchestration. Before leaving the mill, the team found one final message, handwritten on a crumpled sheet of paper: "Stage 2 begins when you think you've regained control. My beloved child, stay till the end, something massive is coming, something even the criminals haven't revealed yet." But before we continue, here's your reminder: share this video, comment if you felt the tension, and subscribe so you never miss the next twist. Because in Part 3, the police will uncover a clue that flips the entire case upside down. My beloved child, don't skip, because Part 3 begins with a discovery no one in the police force expected. After the communication blackout, officers worked all night to restore their systems. And when the network finally came back online, something chilling appeared in the logs: an access point from inside the headquarters itself. Not from outside hackers. Not from an external breach. Someone had plugged into the system from a restricted floor, a place where only high-ranking officers were allowed. This changed everything. If the criminals had a link inside the police building, then the chaos wasn't coming from the streets, it was coming from somewhere far closer. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip, because the investigation team rushed to the restricted floor, expecting to find a damaged terminal or evidence of forced entry, but everything seemed perfectly normal. The keycard logs showed nothing unusual. Cameras showed no unfamiliar face. Yet behind a cabinet, hidden under wires, they found a tiny transmitter, so advanced that even the cyber unit couldn't identify its origin. It wasn't from any known tech manufacturer. It wasn't military-grade either. It was something different, custom-built, designed to mimic police systems while staying invisible. The officer who found it whispered, whoever made this knew our technology better than our engineers. Stay till the end, because the next twist came from an unexpected place, a junior officer studying the city map from the abandoned mill. She noticed something everyone else missed. The red marks around the blind CCTV spots formed a pattern. Not random. Not scattered. A perfect geometric design pointing to one specific location in the city. A central point. A place the criminals seemed desperate to keep hidden. When she plotted the marks digitally, the shape aligned into a symbol that no one immediately recognized. But one retired officer did. His face turned pale the moment he saw it. This symbol belonged to a group we thought was gone forever. My beloved child, don't skip, because that group wasn't just any criminal circle, it was a syndicate that disappeared years ago after a failed mission. They were known for strategic silence, synchronized strikes, and leaving behind no names, only symbols. If they had returned, that meant every incident so far wasn't a warning, it was preparation. The retired officer revealed that their leader, a mind no one ever managed to identify, operated like a ghost. No photo. No real name. Just a chilling reputation, the architect of chaos. And the synchronized crimes? That was the architect's signature move. He never started with small threats, he started with shockwaves. My beloved child, stay till the end, because a final clue arrived that same night. A file from the evidence room, the same one that had been opened during the third crime, contained a stamp matching the symbol from the map. It meant the criminals weren't just causing chaos, they were trying to retrieve something from their past. Something powerful enough to destabilize the entire city if it fell into the wrong hands. And now the police finally understood, the architect of chaos didn't return for revenge, he returned to finish what he started. If you want part 4, tell me, because the next stage will reveal a truth no one in the city is ready to handle. My beloved child, don't skip, because part 4 begins with a revelation that instantly changed the direction of the entire investigation. After identifying the ancient symbol tied to the architect of chaos, the police dug deeper into the old case files. Hidden within one of the folders was a sealed envelope marked, "Do not open without authorization." But the moment they touched it, something unexpected happened. The envelope wasn't empty. Inside was a fragment of a blueprint, a portion of a massive schematic showing underground routes, secret service tunnels, and forgotten passages beneath the city. Routes that were never made public. Routes only top-level authorities should have access to. And yet, the architect had them decades ago. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip, because here's where the mystery deepens. When the engineering department analyzed that blueprint fragment, they confirmed something terrifying: the tunnels connected all 3 crime scenes from part 1. The jewelry district, the armored van route, and even the police evidence hall, all were linked through these hidden passages. That meant the criminals weren't teleporting, leaving no footprints, or performing impossible escapes. They were using the city's forgotten veins, pathways that allowed them to appear and vanish like shadow. The police had never even considered searching underground, which meant the architect had planned this perfect invisibility long before the first crime ever happened. Stay till the end, because the police sent a special team down into one of the tunnels, and what they found shook everyone. Old lights flickering. Cold air. footsteps echoing from nowhere. And in one chamber carved from stone, they discovered a table with dozens of digital chips scattered across it, each chip containing partial information about the city's infrastructure, power grids, water supply, and even communication towers. The criminals weren't committing random crimes, they were collecting every tool needed to control the city itself. On the wall behind the table, 3 words were carved deeply into the concrete: order through chaos. This was their mission, their blueprint. My beloved child, don't skip, because as the officers examined the chamber, a small speaker mounted in the corner activated on its own. No wires. No battery. No visible power source. A voice, calm, steady, emotionless, echoed through the room: "If you are here, you are already late." The voice continued: "The city believes it is safe above ground, while the foundation beneath it is collapsing. You cannot stop what you cannot see." Then the speaker shut off. The audio team later confirmed the voice was synthetically altered, impossible to track, impossible to identify. But it carried the unmistakable confidence of someone who had calculated every move far in advance. My beloved child, stay till the end, because before leaving the tunnel chamber, the officers found one last message sealed in a metal box: "When control returns to you, remember, control is only an illusion." That note alone made the entire police force realize the architect wasn't just attacking from the shadows, he was manipulating perception itself. And now, for the final reminder, share this video, comment your reaction, and subscribe so you never miss the next twist. Because in Part 5, the city will face the most shocking moment yet, the architect revealing the real reason behind every synchronized crime. My beloved child, don't skip, because Part 5 begins with the moment the entire city felt a tremor, not in the ground, but in the air. After discovering the underground chamber and the architect's chilling message, the police believed they finally understood his strategy. But they were wrong. That morning, every digital billboard across the city suddenly switched to a black screen. Pedestrians stopped. Drivers stepped out of their cars. Everyone stared as a single line appeared in white text: "The chaos you fear is only the beginning." No logo. No signature. But every officer knew exactly who was behind it. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip, because what followed next shocked even the highest-ranking officials. The city's mayor called for an emergency press briefing, but before he could speak, the lights in the room flickered, and the microphones distorted. A new voice broke through the speakers, a digitally masked tone that everyone recognized from the tunnel chamber. "For years, you have built walls of security," the architect's voice said, "but walls crumble when the foundation is hollow." Then the monitors surrounding the mayor displayed live feeds from random locations around the city: crowded markets, busy intersections, government buildings, proving the architect had access to every camera network simultaneously. Panic rippled through the room. Stay till the end, because the architect didn't stop there. One of the feeds zoomed into a confidential police transport vehicle moving through traffic. Inside that van was a sealed metal briefcase, classified, highly sensitive, something only a handful of officers even knew about. The architect said, "You hid this from the public, yet you expect them to trust you." Officers in the control room froze. That briefcase contained documents related to the original syndicate, evidence that had never been disclosed. And if the architect could track it in real time, it meant he wasn't just watching the city, he was predicting every move the police made. My beloved child, don't skip, because in a desperate attempt to secure the transport vehicle, the police rerouted the van toward a safe house. But halfway there, the driver reported something terrifying. All traffic signals were turning green simultaneously, forcing vehicles into unpredictable patterns. It was like the entire city grid was being controlled remotely. Meanwhile, drones, small, silent, appeared above the van, capturing angles no surveillance system could normally access. Every second was being watched. Every turn was being calculated. Officers listening to the radio felt their hands go cold. The architect wasn't just attacking the system, he had become the system. My beloved child, stay till the end, because the van barely made it to the safe house. When officers opened the door, the briefcase was still there, but a small slip of paper had been inserted beneath the handle, something no one had seen during transit. It read, "The truth inside this case is the reason chaos exists. You cannot hide it anymore." The police chief realized something terrifying. The architect didn't want the briefcase stolen, he wanted it opened. He wanted the secret inside exposed. And in part 6, that secret will finally come out, shocking enough to shake the entire city. If you're ready, say part 6, because the next twist will hit harder than everything you've heard so far. My beloved child, don't skip, because part 6 begins with the moment the police finally unlocked the sealed briefcase, the very object the architect wanted them to expose. The room was silent. Officers stood around it like they were opening a vault containing the city's heartbeat. When the case clicked open, there was no money, no weapons, no maps. Instead, there were 3 old photographs, a torn document, and a metal badge corroded with age. But the real shock came from the faces in the photos. 2 of them were known members of the old syndicate, but the third face belonged to someone no one wanted to believe, someone who had once protected the city. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip, because the third person in that photograph was a former high-ranking police officer, declared dead years ago in a mysterious explosion during an operation against the syndicate. His name had been erased from records, his case labeled unrecoverable, and his legacy quietly buried. But now his photo appeared right beside the founders of the criminal organization. This meant only one thing. That explosion wasn't an accident. And the officer they mourned might have never died at all. The torn document inside the case confirmed it. It contained fragments of a secret agreement, signatures blurred but recognizable, hinting that someone inside the police force had once collaborated with the syndicate. Stay till the end, because as the pieces came together, a darker truth emerged. That missing officer was rumored to have one of the sharpest strategic minds in the force. He understood city layouts, psychological warfare, and underground passage systems better than anyone. If he survived the explosion, if he went underground, if he felt betrayed by the department he served, then he had everything he needed to rise again. A chilling thought passed through the room. What if the architect of chaos wasn't a new enemy? What if he was one of their own, reborn from betrayal? The silence felt heavier than the evidence itself. My beloved child, don't skip, because the final item in the case, the corroded metal badge, had an inscription scratched onto the back. Under the rusted surface, officers could see shaky letters carved with a blade: "Truth dies when loyalty is sold." The message wasn't written by a criminal. It was written by someone who once believed in justice. Someone who felt the system had abandoned him. Someone capable of orchestrating the synchronized chaos now tearing the city apart. The police chief's voice trembled when he said, "He's not attacking for dominance, he's attacking for revenge. My beloved child, stay till the end, because just when they thought they uncovered everything, every screen in the room lit up with a new message from the architect. Now that you see the truth, you know why this city must collapse before it can stand again." The officers stared in horror. The architect wasn't finished. He was only beginning. And in Part 7, the city will witness the first major strike of his revenge, a move so calculated that even the strongest office. My beloved child, don't skip, because the final chapter begins with the city holding its breath. After the architect revealed the truth about the fallen officer, fear spread faster than the chaos itself. The police knew they were facing not a criminal, but a strategist shaped by betrayal. And then, at exactly 11:11 p.m., every siren in the city activated at once, not from danger, but from a forced override. Windows rattled. Streets froze. People looked up as the sky suddenly lit with red emergency lights. A final broadcast took over every screen: "Tonight, the city faces judgment. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip, because the architect's final move wasn't destruction, it was exposure." The screens displayed secret files the public had never seen, evidence of corruption, deals hidden behind closed doors, false reports buried deep in archives. Documents proving powerful officials had sacrificed truth for gain. The city felt the shock like an earthquake. Panic and disbelief washed through the streets as citizens saw the betrayal that had once pushed the architect into the shadows. His voice echoed, "You cannot stop chaos when justice is already broken." The police force stood stunned, not because the files were fake, but because they were real. Stay till the end, because the architect's final message wasn't a threat. It was a revelation. Cameras on the main screen turned to an unknown location, dark, quiet, isolated. A lone figure stepped forward wearing a mask. The architect spoke his last words: "This city made me a ghost, but ghosts don't seek power. They seek truth." And then, in a moment that shocked millions, he removed the mask. But before his face could fully appear, the screen cut to black. No identity revealed. No trace left behind. The city was left with a silence heavier than any explosion. My beloved child, don't skip, because the police rushed to trace the broadcast source, but the location was empty. No equipment. No wires. No footprints. Just a single badge placed on the ground, the same badge from the briefcase, polished clean, restored, and warm, as if it had just been held. A handwritten note beside it read, "I never wanted chaos. I wanted someone to listen." For the first time, officers realized the architect wasn't trying to destroy the city, he was forcing it to confront the truth it had buried. My beloved child, stay till the end, because the city slowly began rebuilding. Corrupt officials were investigated. Old cases reopened. Systems repaired. And somewhere in the crowd, an unseen figure walked away, disappearing into the world like a shadow that had finished its purpose. People still whisper his name, some call him a villain, others a vigilante. But one thing remained undeniable: the crimes that brought chaos to the city didn't end it, they changed it forever. And the architect of chaos? He became a legend the city will never forget.